Greetings and welcome to the first in a long series of Heritage Quest video walkthroughs for the EverQuest 2 MMO. I am Nandiara Mistwalker, leader of the Rain Dancers Guild, and I'm going to guide you through these quests. In this episode, we are going to work on In Honor and Service, the first Heritage Quest you can accept. Time-state prefaces for each step of this quest are in the description below. Let's get started. This quest is located in Kelethin, which is technically a good city, but the path to the quest giver poses no difficulties for characters with any faction standing or level. On your first time running through this quest, I strongly advise you to read the things the quest giver says, as there's a lot of very interesting lore to be had. This quest is accessible as early as level 14. Captain Irontoe is an NPC I have given many nicknames to since I first went through this quest years ago. Captain Blabby McTalksAlot is the one that I go to most often. With a lot of quests in this game, you simply need to click on the top choice all the way through and you have what you need. Not so with Captain Blabberface. The conversational paths to accepting this quest are rather specific. There are several points during his dialogue where you will need to read the answers and choose one that is not the first given option. Now, as you can see, this conversation is not easily traversed, but I will help you get to where you need to go. The choices that lead to the quest being offered are, what did Caledon do during the War of the Fae? After some more lore dumping, you get to the second branching dialogue. Choose, were there any significant battles in Greater Furtick? The next multiple choice takes, tell me more. Then, where can I go to honor those that fought at the battle at Burning Roots? The final click says, I will honor and serve, and there is your quest. The first step of this quest is to head to the Battle of Burning Roots Memorial in this zone. This is an easy thing to find, as you need to simply follow the road east from the Kelethin Acorn elevator. As you can see, the road is clearly marked and easy to follow. It winds about a bit, so once you are more familiar with the zone, you can cut over the hills and the plains. The memorial you are looking for is obviously placed and easily seen. You'll click on this and get another paragraph of lore, then the quest update tells you to find 10 Dwarven War artifacts. These are spread around this general area, small plates stuck halfway sideways into the ground that glow and sparkle. You'll need 10 of them, and these do not update for the entire group. Each member will need to pick up 10 of their own. They are trackable and respawn quickly. Circle the tree a few times and you'll have them all before you know it. I'll be speeding up certain moments in the video, as well as making jump cuts when I need to go somewhere you have already been, in order to cut down on the travel time and dead air. This quest took me roughly an hour to complete, and removing the travel time and speeding up the fights brought the video down to just over 15 minutes. Now, we return to Captain Yamaron. Heritage quests are like this. There's a lot of back and forth in many of them. Both travel and fighting take up a great deal of time, which makes for a relaxing and confident playthrough, but also a quiet and boring video. The next step of the quest has the captain sending you to the Echo Caverns. This is a cluster of tunnels with creature in it that are all gray marked by the time you get this quest. Most of the mobs in the area are around level 6, so there's no reason to fight anything. Getting to Echo is not hard. One turns left instead of right at the outpost on the road to the memorial. Follow the cliff path, and it's the only cave opening you'll see. To get to where you need to go, you will need to take the first turn left, the second turn right, and the third turn right again. Inside the big room, the first tunnel leading right is where you want to head next. Then another right turn and your update box is right there at the far wall. Clicking on this updates your quest. You were told that the goblins and orcs are cooperating in this venture, and there must be someplace nearby where you can find information about both the races and their plans. To get out of the tunnels, just follow the path you took to get here backward, and you'll see trees and sunlight again. Off to Orc Hill! If you played EQ1, you will remember Orc Hill. I love that they kept Norath so similar from the last game to this one. It is obviously different in some ways. I miss the bats carrying glow lights, but there are many ways it calls back for the nostalgia trips, and I love every one of them. We have a piano in our guild that plays EQ1 city music. One of the tents here on Orc Hill has a special kind of box. This is the one you will need to find, but its properties prevent you from being able to open it right away. The first thing you must do is find the instructions on how the box is safely opened. The instructions you are looking for are in a tent directly across from the tent the box is in. There's a half-open scroll on a mat on the ground, because that's where you keep your important papers, right? The instructions tell you that you need shrool dust to open the chest, but there are spies that need to check in, and someone needs to find 3 gong pieces so they can summon the 3 of them, who are currently gathering information and threatening this entire area. So, you kill each nearby orc with a feather until you get all 3 items. This is not an item that always drops. It will take more than 3 orcs to get all 3 pieces you need, but it shouldn't take many more, which is good. All these orcs being gray also makes it a little less exciting to plow through them. As far as I'm aware, because I could not test it as I soloed the quest, these updates are for the group as a whole, as are the spy kills. Once you have all 3 parts, head over to the gong right next to the tent with the box in it. Click it and the gong is both ready to be used and run to signal the spies to appear. There are 3 spies, and while they're in the same zone, they are not nearby. The first spy I go to is the one near Giant's Nose, which is a description I found strange and not entirely helpful. The Giant's Nose is actually a large rock on the path towards the battle memorial. Once you can see the rock, the spy will be spawned in front of it, making things difficult to miss. The next spy I go to is the one stationed in Caverns itself. It stands near McTalksAlot, and again, it spawns as you near the area, so it is very difficult to miss. The need to ride the elevator can alter the amount of time this step takes. These acorns move so slowly. The final spy is on top of a large route at the zone line that leads to the Butcher Block Mountains. Now, you could ride the elevator and wander the areas underneath the city, but I tend to just cross the pathways instead. There are no guards that will attack anyone in Caverns unless you go near the home of the royal leaders of the city, so this trek is not dangerous. It also doesn't wind a lot. Just go straight, sometimes you're on tree trunks, and you'll find the ramp down. Take a left at the bottom of the ramp, and then circle around the tents right down the hill. At the bottom of the hill, look left and you'll see the zone and the route. Once you get close enough, the orc spawns and you can pull it with an arrow or a spell. This area also has both spiders and treants that were green to me at level 16, which means experience and loot. Once the final orc spy is dead, take the nearby quick travel horse to the Caverns station. The next step of the quest, now that you've killed the spies, is going to the Mushroom King, who sits on the eastern riverbank. He is the one that has access to the Shroll Dusk, which you need to pacify the chest with, so it will let you stick your hand down there and get the information you need. As you can see on the map, the horse will only get you halfway across the zone at the Caverns station. You could take one of the other stations if you wish. Perhaps one or another will get you closer to the king, but this one isn't too far, and I don't have to jump off mid-ride. The Mushroom King is an interesting character. The conversations he has with you are quite entertaining the first time through. Again, if this is your first time, I strongly suggest reading it all. They put quite a bit of effort into the world building when the game was newer, and it shows. Anyway, he tells you that you need to go to Tuner's garden and kill some fairies and gather some toadstools. He will then give you the dust you need. Heading up the river leads you to a route you can go up to get to the garden. It's nearby, but the entrance is hidden behind a huge tree and easy to get you turned around in the wrong direction on your first few times through. Checking your map is an easy way to make sure you're in the right place, but it's basically straightforward once you go up that route ramp. Just around the tree past the bears and you're there. On your map, you will see 2 similar side-by-side areas. One of them leads to the Wizard Spire and Steam Font, while the other is your goal. If you get turned around, just keep going and you'll find it eventually. The enormous flowers and dozens of fairies flying around confirm you're in the right area. Also, aside from the fairies you must kill, there are also small trees that move and attack you, so this is going to be your first real battle series of the quest so far. Navigating this garden in third-person view can be a bit difficult as the roots and flowers will make the camera go wonky. I usually move into first-person mode to see around the roots and to more easily find the toadstools on the ground, at least for most of my time spent in here. The toadstools are trackable and, like the war artifacts, are not group updates. They're everywhere though, and they spawn quickly. Now that we are done killing and collecting, it is time to return to the Mushroom King. Finding the king again is easy enough, and through the dialogue you find out that he will apparently enjoy the stew he's going to make with the toadstools you just captured. Your character doesn't want to get into it and just presses for the dust, which he gives you. Now you head back to Orc Hill to deal with that silly chest. Once you have the instructions from the chest, you need to read it by clicking on it in your inventory. After you have inspected it, your quest viewer will show the 9 different sets of plans you need recover in order to prevent the orcs from having this oh-so-great armor. These 9 updates are on the other side of the zone in the Crushbone area. It is possible to simply follow the road there if you wish, though I usually just head in that general direction because I am certain I remember the area and I don't need no road. And then I end up smashing my face against the wall where the Bixies are and need to head around some trees to get to where I am going. I also usually forget that there is a fast travel horse directly at the entrance to the area. You can avoid a lot of the orc trash combat here if you choose. Simply move carefully down the path in a zigzag pattern and you'll get easily through. Some of the extra combats cannot be bypassed, however, so you'll be getting your hands dirty a bit anyway. Five of the plans you were looking for are with smiths, who have a chest and a number of guards with them. These are easy kills, but you won't get the plans before the entire group is dead. The other 4 are with the expedition leaders, and those orcs update with keys as soon as they are killed, although the rest of their group still needs to die, of course. The 4 litters are close to each other and no longer share spawn points, which has literally shaved hours or even days off of this step. Camping this area for a weekend was, well, frustrating to say the least. The smiths and their groups are further apart from each other. 3 of them are in this area, and the other 2 are on the other side of a long tunnel closer to the keep. We're speeding through these fights. There are a lot of them in a very tight area. Once we are done with this part of the camp, we head through the tunnel. It is a very, very long tunnel for some reason. Well, I guess it is kind of going through a mountain, but still. On the other side, you'll see the 4th smith and his group right ahead of you. And you'll also be able to kill them quickly without other aggro. Oh, what do I see? Shiny! Shiny, 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 shiny. There's a shiny. Okay, sorry about that. I sometimes fight my way through this path, and I sometimes skip it by going around the back side of this building. Either way, cross the bridge and go around the hill. Your last smith group is over that small wall, and then, after that, all you need to do is head into Crushbone Keep. Once inside, if you don't move, you are going to be safe. The aggro radius isn't super large for these orcs, but you will most likely need to kill at least 3 of them to get access to the chests. If you loot the chests while your pets, mercs, or group members are fighting them, it's pretty easy to jump out the front door to keep from dying if you're having troubles. You can always come back in and pick away at the groups until you can reach them. Open all 4 chests and it will update your quest with each in turn. Now that we have all 9 of the plans, we head back to our favorite captain, Ramble Lip Flapper. You can cut some of the travel time by taking the quick travel horse taxi, if you wish. Just a little bit more talk and you've got a lovely piece of armory. That was pretty cool in the beginning stages of both EQ1 and EQ2, but the decades, updates, and expansions in both games have made it so easy to twink out your character past death that this is just one of my favorite house items. And that was an honor and service. I'm Nandiara Mistwalker, and I hope this was helpful. I'll be back soon with the next one, and until then, happy dancing.